Oh boy, just another day, another dollar.
We're
back in the studio, back for work. I stalled a little bit. What's up, everybody?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's the All Day Everyday Show. Where am I looking at today? With All Day AJ and the homie Manny Ruffin.
Here.
Just another day, another dollar in the studio at work, powered by Dimers. Oh boy. And boy, do we have a lot to talk about.
It's something about the
today.
music. Like I could just be tired in the morning or something.
Just fires you up or
As
something.
soon as I hear that music, I'm like, let's go.
Guys, it's Twin Spires time. First 6 weeks of the NFL season. Only 2 more weeks left, right? Because we're in week 4, okay? So sign up using code, actually it's not even a code. Just head over to www.dimers.com/ADED. You'll get a risk-free bet up to $1,000. And that only not only helps us and supports us, but you're getting a free bet. So if you lose that bet, you get to come back and you bet that one again. I do want to say this too. For the month of October, we have something coming for all of you guys watching and listening. Something to help you guys out, maybe get you helping us out with these signups, but also giving you guys a little bit of a reward. We've done this before. I'm not trying to leak too much, but we have done this before.
And we did tell y'all there was another giveaway coming.
Yeah.
For everyone who listened
all right,
back
so
then.
now he already said it. So we are doing a goddamn giveaway. We'll talk a little bit more about this on the reaction show this week, but
just stay locked in.
Stay locked in, okay? We have a lot to do today. I'm going to pass this over to Manny. We're going to be going segment to segment really fast, knocking this shit out, and getting you guys ready for the weekend. Not only NFL Sunday, but the MLB playoffs. So what are we doing?
So let's go, boys. First and foremost, we're going to go over this AL wild card and NL wild cards. That's NL West baseball race going on right now. There's some juicy races going on right now. You got the Dodgers and the Giants battling out for the NL West title. That's going to come down to the wire. The AL, you got about 3-4 teams in serious contention. A couple teams falling off the wagon. A couple teams trying to get back on the wagon. The Seattle Mariners are trying to get back in the playoffs, baby. So I don't know what's going on. And also with the NL, you got the Cardinals that won 17 of their last 18. Alex, how much you up right now if you bet them during the win
if you bet
streak?
$100 on the Cardinals on their 17-game win streak, you would be up $19.2 million.
God damn.
Like, think about that. And now, for people that are like, well, how the hell does that make sense? Not only is it 17 games, yes, but they were underdogs in that, in most of those games.
A lot of short lines.
You know, so that's just something to think about. Would you have really bet $100 17 games in a row on the Cardinals? Hell no, hell no. I would love to see if there's one person that did that, one person, but I doubt there was.
But then we're going to stop back over to college football and talk about, can anyone actually beat Bama or Georgia?
That's right.
I have some interesting thoughts about that. Then we're going to go to Sunday Night Football. You already know what's going on. Brady back to Foxborough. Brady and Bill. There's been some juicy headlines going on, some stories, some alleged things going on in that locker room during his time there, during his departure. We'll go over that game. Then we have a big Monday Night Football game with the Raiders going to SoFi to play the Chargers. I like this matchup a lot. I think there's some value on one team here. I'm going to release a pick at the end of this show when we go over this game. A little bit of a risky one, but let's dive into it. It's going to be a good show.
I also do want to mention my Giants a little bit towards the end of the
my
show.
bad. Will they win a game?
Right. We can wrap with that one. Okay, so let's go to
the fucking football Giants.
We'll start with this AL and NL playoffs, mainly kind of this race that's going on here. Let's start with the NL. Okay, so Tuesday and Wednesday, October 5th and 6th, starting with the AL on Tuesday. That's the wild card game, and then the National League following on Wednesday, October 6th. So I want to get the NL out of the way here first. We know pretty much what that NL wildcard's going to be. We already know that the Cardinals have this locked. And I do want to say a little bit on the Cardinals here, as we already mentioned, that $19.2 million winnings that you could have had, that I wouldn't have had. But so here we go. So in the beginning of August 8th, they had a 1.3% chance to make the playoffs. Jesus. And then they win 17 games in a row, and they make the playoffs September 28th. So almost just shy of 2 months. And they're in there. So that's crazy to think about. The other thing I want to talk about, too, with this 17-game win streak is that's the third longest streak in the last 60 years.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Third longest win streak in the last 60 years. They win 6 more, right? Wasn't the A's
23? I was going to say 23. Don't call me 23. I think
but it's 6 more games they get there. I don't even think there's 6 left for them to even get there. But imagine if they got like 22 and they're like, oh, we almost tied the record. We almost tied the record, you know? But it's going to be crazy. So if you think about this NL wildcard game, you look at the Cardinals. They're obviously locked in there already. Yep. And then the next fight, who are trying to either win the division and get out of this wild card sweat because of how the wild card's set up is. I honestly don't like it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this is one of those years where it just proves to you that this setup for the MLB playoffs is bullshit.
It's a one-game showdown.
You have the Dodgers as of today, Thursday, September 30th. They are at 102 wins. The Giants, who are at 104 wins. So one of those teams is gonna lose that race and then play in the wild card game versus a Cardinals team who's won 17 of their last 18 in a one-game
sweat show.
Are you fucking kidding me?
So like
I'm a 100-win team and I have I have one game.
You've been literally preaching.
This needs to be a best of 3.
You've been preaching me as a Yankees fan over the past couple of years because
actuals.
Not this year. They're not going to get to 100 this year, but in previous years they're a 100-win baseball team, and they're not beating the Rays. They can't get the division, so they're a 100-win team, and they have to go sweat and win a one-game showdown in a wild card game to get into the DS to go play the Rays, which is also bullshit.
It's great. Like I think I said this on a podcast before. It's great TV. Like I love watching. I love watching.
It's essentially like watching a Game 7 because it's win or go home. It's as simple as that. So it's definitely it's tough for teams that fight so hard to get there. But as of today, like Manny said, the Dodgers are 2 games back from the Giants. So we got a weekend series to go for both of these teams, and
some interesting series there. Dodgers play the Brewers.
Yep,
that's a tough series. And then the Giants had the Padres, obviously, and the Padres played them close. Their last series, it was a 3-game series. They lost by a combined 4 runs. So there's a chance that there could be some shakeups going on. One of these teams is probably going to drop 1 or 2 of these games. The Giants have been struggling with the D-backs a little bit. They haven't. They've won, but they've been some sweaty games last night.
You bring up a good point on the Padres too, because you remember. Last season, last playoffs, when Tatis was just a baller, you had all those GIFs and those videos of him with the big swings and the bat flips and all that, and we're not going to see that. They're obviously nowhere near in contention to win the division, and they're 10 games back from the wild card, so we won't see them in the playoffs.
But they're still playing
just goes to show
ball.
the difference.
They get to play their NL West. They get to play their NL West rivals with a chance to spoil their season. Because if you could just force one of these teams, I guess whoever they hate more, the Dodgers or the Giants, force them to play in a wild card game, send them home on account of us. They love that.
But let's remember that this Padres team was electric.
They were supposed to be the team in the NL West. They were supposed to be what the Giants are right now is what the Padres were supposed to be.
And we have to put a lot of credit on ourselves too, because we did say in our MLB preview and predictions, this is back when we were on Zoom. Okay, we were doing our show in different places. I was here in a studio in a closet. Manny was at home. We were on Zoom, and we did say that this NL West is going to be the best division in baseball. And you have 2 teams that are well above 100 games and are going to finish well above 100 games. So it's definitely wild to think about that. Yes, we called that. We did mention that.
Woo!
But still, nobody thought the Giants were going to be in this position.
Facts.
Getting Gabe.
Good old Gabe Kapler.
After a shitty season with the Phillies, moves on to the Giants, and you're like, oh, I guess the Giants are going to suck again, and they're not going to be in contention, and they're in this fluke, and what are they going to do? They make some good moves. They get KB, and they're firing on all cylinders. So it's going to be cool to see. If you're a Giants fan, or even if you're on this Giants team in this organization, you got to be frustrated if you blow this and you lose these next 2 games, or you blow this, this divisional race, and you give this division to the Dodgers, and you're like, damn, now we got to go sweat this out. And we were in contention, and we had this division almost locked for a good majority of this season. So, and when you look at the Dodgers, and we had all those trade talks. So Trey Turner's over there, Mad Max is over there too. Everything that they were able to do, and after we had a stream when we first started streaming on Twitch. Shout out Twitch, by the way. Everyone was like, and us too. How do you not bet on the Dodgers after that? And now you're like, damn.
Well, I was the only one that was like,
that's true.
I would pump the brakes on that. But even one interesting betting piece that I saw, the Dodgers are the favorite to come out of the NL and the favorite to win the World Series right now. I think to win the World Series, I think they might be plus 350 right now. So that's telling me something like that's an absolute trap. Like I don't think the Dodgers are going to be able to make it. They're telling me,
but 350 is still good.
But they're most likely going to play in a wild card game versus the Cardinals. And then if they win that series, they have, if I'm not mistaken, they would have to play the Giants, right?
That's right.
And you're going to lay a plus 350 for them to win the World Series?
Here's
I
what
don't like the value on that. That's a tough road.
Regardless of what happens.
That's a tough road.
Regardless of what happens in this NL race for the wild card, if the Dodgers get in the wild card and they have to play the Cardinals, fine. If the Giants lose the division and the Dodgers win the division and the Giants have to go play the Cardinals, that's fine too,
Facts.
because hopefully, no disrespect to the Cardinals. They've had a great run, able to get themselves into playoffs. Literally no one thought they were going to make the playoffs.
Big fucking
as the percentage, the 1.3 percentage says so on August 8th. But hopefully we can see a Dodgers-Giants matchup. I mean, this is what we look to see in the playoffs. And last year, we had the same thing with the Padres and the Dodgers, right? We wanted to see that series with Tatis and Machado there, and we were able to see Cody Bellinger when he had going insane last year. So we want to see a series like this. So it's definitely going to be a fun way to start the playoffs. Obviously, for these baseball guys, if you're not big into baseball throughout the entire year, I know it's a long, long season. You can't really stay locked in unless your team's really doing well. I understand that.
Or if you're a degenerate gambler.
Fair enough. But everybody tunes into October baseball. It's a great atmosphere. Obviously, everyone's going to say, well, it's playoffs. I have to watch playoffs. I don't know, man. It's a little bit different with MLB playoffs. And 100%. I say the same thing about NHL playoffs, too. It's just a different atmosphere. NFL playoffs, everybody knows, it's almost like the same, you know what you're getting, essentially. Yeah. But when MLB, it's a different, because it's how the seasons are lined up. So you look at MLB season, it's long. Like I just said, it's very long. Not many people are really tuned in for the entire year. And then ratings go up. Everybody's there to watch these playoffs.
The one thing I would say about the MLB playoffs, it's like a nice little shock, because the thing about the NFL is Casey's going to sell out no matter what if they're playing at home. The Link's going to sell out at home no matter what. But when you get in the playoffs, that energy goes up a little bit, but it's still the same places getting sold out, and the energy is higher, but it's not like MLB.
That's and that's a great point. I mean, it's tough to
look at the Dodgers game at 1:10. They're playing the Marlins in June.
Right, I was just gonna say
10,000, 15,000.
Look at the Yankees but then right now.
Look at that stadium when they play in October.
Right,
that energy in there, every pitch, the towels.
Remember,
there's nothing.
I saw this one TikTok when the Nats were on their run, and they did essentially what the Cardinals did. Weren't supposed to make the playoffs. They make it in there, and then they go all the way and they win the whole thing. And it was a TikTok of Soto running out to the field, taking the field for the first inning of his game. I don't know what game it was, but it was a camera following him as he's running out. And he's running out to the outfield. And it's like every kid dreams of this. And the fans are going nuts. It's a sold-out crowd. He's running out. He's holding his hands up like this and pointing out to the crowd. And, it's just a different atmosphere. It's something that we're really looking forward to. So that's really all we got on the NL. It's, like I said, it's almost predictable of what's going to happen. Yep. Because, again, it's Dodgers or Giants in this wild card, and regardless, we're assuming, I'm not trying to make an ass out of you and me, but we're assuming that the Dodgers or the Giants, whoever is in that wild card, will move on and play either the Dodgers or the Giants, if you guys can grasp that. So let's go to our AL. This is a little bit more spicy in terms of our wild card, who's actually going to get into the playoffs. Right now, like Manny said, Thursday, September 30th, the Yankees are up one game. And that means they'll have home field. So they're the 4 seed. They'd have home field, and they would play the Boston Red Sox. If everything stays the same. The Blue Jays are 1 game back. So they're right in there, okay? So it could be Yankees, Blue Jays. Hopefully Yankees are still hosting. As of these past couple of years when they're in the wild card, and like I said, they're having those 100-win seasons, they are the home. They get the home game for the wild card, and that helps out anybody in that Game 7, essentially, like we said. So that could change, though, because the weekend series, the Yankees play the Rays. Rays already clinched home field. They did that last night with their win. And it's really tough because Boston's coming off a series against the Baltimore Orioles. And I was bitching to you about this last night. It just sucks how
play you play.
Yankees have to sweat out a series against these Blue Jays. They got one more game tonight. And then they go sweat out another weekend series against the Rays and hope that they can get in. Garrett Cole did say he pitched last night, 9 hits allowed, 6 innings, 5 runs, not his best showing. But he did say, and I said to Manny, I'm like, get it all out now. You're going to pitch in the wildcard game. Get it all out now. He did say, though, if he needs to be ready for Sunday to pitch against the Rays on Sunday, he will pitch on Sunday, which could backfire.
Yeah.
But I'm saying
you got to get in there at all costs.
That's what I mean. So you got to get them in there. So he did say he will be ready for Sunday if need be. Kluber's on the mound tonight. This doesn't matter. You won't see this end. But hopefully, I'm able to watch them. And hopefully, Manny and I talked about we're thinking about getting over to a Yankees playoff game. Last time I was there was 3 years ago. And it's just a great atmosphere. I mean, it's so different. We talked about it, but it's so, even when you're watching on TV, but when you're there, it's like, yeah, it's playoffs, everything. You know what you're getting. But I don't know. It's just when it's a different type of feeling when you're at a May or June Phillies game. Like I went to a couple Phillies Marlins games.
It's one's a hangout, and then one's like we're locked
in, right? So and you know, when you, like I said, when you look at this AL race, it's definitely a lot more spicy and exciting to look to, because you have three teams that are battling here, and like you said, the Mariners are trying to crawl their way.
I was gonna say, in this race, I think there might be some weird things going on. Honestly, if you look at the layout of it, I mean, the Red Sox are kicking themselves in the foot so much before that losing that series to the Yankees. They're getting swept at Fenway. Then I think they drop one of the Orioles, and then they get back on track. The Blue Jays play the Orioles in the last series. They obviously, like you said, the Yankees play the Rays. That's a tough series for them. The Mariners are calling back in this thing. Their bats are getting hot. They've been pitching well. I think they gave up no more than 2 runs in 4 of the last 5. They play the Angels in the last series. That's a favorable series for them. My personal opinion, I think it's going to be the Blue Jays and the Yankees. I think the Blue Jays take on the 30th tonight. I think the Blue Jays take this game from the Yankees. Emotional win last night, big win. Bo Bichette, 2 home runs. I mean, it's just a huge game from him. They might take this game just off that momentum, and then I think the Yankees can take 2 from the Rays. I don't
hopefully,
think
hopefully
need to take 2, and need the Red Sox to drop some to the Nationals. The Red Sox, I mean. When we did the prediction show, I was like, this team sucks. I remember saying this literally. I was like, this team sucks. And then they started having a good season, a really solid season. I think they were leading the AL.
They were leading for a while.
For a little bit.
For a while.
Fell off a little bit. And then you've seen why we all thought this team was going to suck down the stretch. They don't suck, but I think they probably dropped 1 to the Nationals, and that probably take them out of contention. So I'm looking at the Yankees and the Blue Jays here. I think that's going to be a crazy.
Well, then you look at the last weekend's weekend series against the Yankees and the Red Sox. And the Yankees were in Fenway, and they swept the Red Sox for the first time since 2015 that they got a sweep in Fenway. I didn't know that stat. That it's been 6 years since they've gotten a sweep in Fenway. That's crazy. So that's kind of what sparked this 7-game win streak that was obviously snapped last night. But if you look on the other side of this playoff picture for the AL, it's the Sox, the White Sox, and the Astros. So if the Yankees can get in, and they go play the Rays, and maybe this year's their redemption year, hopefully they can get through them, then they got to, go back and either go get some more redemption on the Stros, or get some redemption from the what's the Field of Dreams game. I couldn't figure that walk off from Tim Anderson.
The chalkiest game of all time.
Chalkiest game of all time. So maybe we can go with redemption there.
I'm really interested to see if the Mariners can sneak in here, though, because if you do see a team like the Yankees drop 2, and then maybe the Blue Jays drop 1 of the Orioles, and the Red Sox drop 2 to the Nationals, like the Mariners are going to sneak in there because they're taking 2 from the Angels, guaranteed.
Right.
Yeah, guaranteed. Sunday the 3rd is going to be a huge day for baseball. I think the Yankees, Blue Jays, Red Sox, and the Mariners all play that day. Some day games flicker out through there. That's going to be a day where everything's going to be found out and solved. And I'm going to feel bad for you. I'm going to have a great time.
Well, because I really want to go to another playoff game. I really, really do. Like I said, it's been 3 years, so I want to go be in that atmosphere again. I sat under the overhang in right field. I saw Judge hit a home run. I saw Judge drive a homer in front of us. It was awesome. So I want to go live that experience again. And now that we have cameras and we do this for a living, we can go document all that. So let's head over to college football. Like Manny mentioned in the beginning, it's Georgia and Bama, or is it? So I'm going to just kind of say my little 2 cents here on Bama. It's the simplest way to put it. I don't think anyone's stopping this team. After their game against Ole Miss this weekend, I think it's a 3 p.m. game on CBS. They play 3 unranked teams. It's Tennessee, LSU, and I'm forgetting the other one.
Hey, LSU's a good football team. They're gonna go in there and beat Auburn this weekend. Sorry, Sam Linton. They're going to go in there and beat Auburn.
And then after that, after those 3 games, it's Arkansas, who's 8 right now, and then Auburn to end the year. So, I don't know. I do think that they win this weekend and they win those next 3, and then it'll be if Arkansas can do what they did this past weekend and beat up on Bama and kind of send them out their way. I will say this, though. I have to give a lot of this, and before I turn this over to you, I have to give a lot of credit to Nick Saban for putting a championship caliber team on the field year in and year out. Because, and I'm saying that,
decade straight.
And I'm saying that because you look at a team like Clemson, who have been so dominant with, their offense with T. Law and Travis, T. Higgins when he was there, all of those guys, as they were able to build that dynasty that Clemson had, being in the top 3. You can say top 4, top 3, really even top 2 in these past couple seasons. And now you drop and you drop 2
Don't
so
forget
far.
That team with Deshaun Watson, Hunter Renfrow, Mike
yeah.
Williams. Shit, like they had some squads.
You're 2-2 this year. You're now 25 in the rankings, and now there's no shot after their loss this past weekend. There's no way that they can make the college football playoff. It's not. It's just statistically, it's not possible to do so. So, like I said, I just do want to give a lot of credit to Nick Saban because I don't think, obviously, he does get a lot of credit, but I just say he does just because even when you let your guys go and they go to the NFL.
He has 73 of them in the league right now, by the way.
Yeah, see, that's crazy. But even when they get there, you're still able to go back, regroup, reset, and get your team ready to go be another championship contending team. And they do that year in and year out.
Yeah, like I mean, we know who this Bama team is. I'm gonna say this: they're not amazing. Like we've seen some like really, really, really good Bama teams this past decade. This is not one of the best ones. They have Bryce Young's a hell of a player. They have amazing players throughout that team. But this is not the most amazing Bama team we've seen. I will say this. That staff is always loaded, and Nick Saban always finds a way to get a great offensive coordinator. But then you have Bill O'Brien come after he just sabotages the entire Houston Texans organization for a couple years. Yeah, I'm going to go be Saban's OC and just win a bunch of national championships now and just act like I'm the smartest offensive mind in the world. Cool. Go for Bill O'Brien. Penn State guy. Yeah, we always love you.
Penn State's 4, by the way.
Let me get there. Let me get to that. So Bama, I do think they are susceptible to get caught. SEC championship situation. I don't think they lose in the college football semifinal, but maybe in the national championship. But I mean, they are. They'll be 1 or 2 the whole year. I don't think they drop on the whole year. They might have another close call, but the Bama usually has one close call a year, and Florida gave them that. Now to Georgia, because it is like, can anybody beat Alabama or Georgia? Georgia, abso-fucking-lutely. This Georgia team, I was high on them to start the year. They are not who we think they were. I mean, let's be honest. Clemson's now 2-2. They lost to NC State. Georgia, you beat that team 10-3. Your only touchdown was the defensive touchdown, a 75-yard interception return for touchdown. Your offense scored 3 points. You're not like teams like Penn State are around. Penn State's a good football team. Sean Clifford heard everything everyone was saying in the offseason.
And who's number 3, bro?
Jahan Dotson's there. I mean, Joey Porter Jr. is the most probably underrated cornerback in college football. Oregon's there.
I was just going to say.
Kayvon Thibodeau's back. He's back getting sacks, doing what he does. Oklahoma's there. Spencer Rattler's a really good football player. He was getting booed against West Virginia, and I didn't understand why that was happening. They were calling
like, we want Caleb. They're
calling for Caleb Williams and shit. That's not a good look. Caleb Williams is a good player too, but Spencer Rattler is a dog, and he wasn't getting protected the right way.
Dog.
But that's the best defense Oklahoma has had in a while. So, and they're doing that for the sole fact, like, we have to be able to stop these SEC teams. You've seen it a couple years ago when Baker was there. They had the offense to keep up with Georgia, but they couldn't stop them, and that's why they lost. I think there's about 3-4 teams that could really get Georgia. They play Florida week 9. We see what Florida did when they played Bama. I think they get knocked off there before we even get to the college football playoff, before the SEC championship. Bama's going to cruise their way through. They're going to be in this thing. Maybe they get caught in the SEC chip, like I said, but I don't think so. Georgia, though, Georgia will have a loss by week 10, guaranteed.
By week 10. Yeah, it's when you brought up good points with Penn State too and Oregon too. Just looking at these, it's a different type of year. Who thought Oregon was going to be up top there? Who thought Penn State was going to be up top there? They've been crawling, mind you.
One thing I'll say about this Penn State team is it's the same group from last year, essentially a couple pieces here and there, and they went through it all together, man.
Oh, I know.
Started off 0-4, finished 4-0. Or 0-5.
That's what I mean. They crawled.
So that team's together, and there's a lot of adversity with their team. There's a lot of pride with that.
They just fought through, and they had they played connect the dots.
Yep.
They put the puzzle pieces together, and now it's obviously paying off. So will they make it? Look, it's too early to say. It's 4 games into the season, but
this is the best Penn State secondary, arguably of all time. One of Penn State's best defenses ever. I mean, you saw them play the SEC team. They were flying around.
Now listen, though, if they lost that Auburn game,
and I'm sorry, I know this is old, but the refs had Auburn spread. They had the Auburn spread. They made them punt on a 3rd down. I watched that. I was livid. James Franklin was going off on the refs. They made them punt on a 3rd down. That's horrible. My bad. I had to say something about that.
Well, because I was just gonna say, like if they did lose this Auburn game, we're not really talking too highly on them. They'd still be in the top 25, but maybe in the teens.
They play Indiana this week, and then they go play a big game at Iowa next week. That's going to be a huge game.
And it's always a good fight with them, too, with Iowa, too, and Minnesota, too.
Yep.
So let's head over to our Sunday night preview, and then we'll do Monday night, and then we'll head to the Giants. So Brady, I know. I just have to. It's gonna be fast. I just have to say my 2 cents.
I just love that you guys fucking suck and you have to talk about it on the show.
I just have to, because I have to be realistic. Okay, we will get to that. Sunday night preview: the Bucks and Tom Brady, especially heading back to Foxborough to face off against his former coach with the dynasty that they had. That everybody knows how he really became the GOAT. Yep. As Brady has already mentioned, per Adam Schefter's Twitter, that this is not a time for reflection for Tom Brady. It's a time of business. And you can really see that, and you can attest to that because of this last loss that they had this past weekend. So we're going to see. I mean, I think this is a simple betting weekend here for this game. Everyone's going to say, well, you got to take it. Oh, he's back. He might catch some booze or something like that. Listen, he came off a loss, and Brady and Belichick, as that's coming out this week, it's been discussed a lot from Seth Wickersham's new book, It's Better to Be Feared.
Yep.
And there's 2 quotes that were posted on ESPN Instagram that you guys can go head over there and read those exact direct quotes. I'm kind of going to paraphrase a little bit of that. But a lot of this that's been talked about and discussed this week is what goes into when Brady wanting to say goodbye to Bill Belichick. Mm-hmm. And he wanted to do that in person. Obviously, it makes sense.
As a man should.
As a man, not even really that, just to show his respect, his appreciation,
fucking 20 years
what they've done together.
Kind of won a lot of rings, I mean.
So we just want to show, I'm moving on. Thank you for everything. I want to shake your hand. Thank you. I am moving on. And I won't be playing football with you ever again because, it's the career's slowly wrapping up. I mean, I'm not saying it's this year, but I'm just saying, just look at the age though, right? So I'm not saying it. But so Belichick in this article, in this little excerpt here, he couldn't make it. He said he wasn't available, blah, 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 whatever. And it ended over the phone. And a lot of the controversy and a lot of the talks that's happened this week, all over sports, all over the sports world is, that's just bullshit on Bill's part. And it's odd how a relationship that they had, a dynasty that they had, it ends like that. And then there was another one, again, it's same on ESPN's Instagram there. They have the same quote. It was also talked about how their relationship between the two of them have deteriorated over time. And Brady actually wanted out in 2017. I don't know if that was after the Super Bowl loss to your Philadelphia Eagles, or if it was before that season even started.
I think the story was he ended up resigning with the Patriots in 2017, but he told people close to him that he doesn't want to play with Bill anymore.
And it started,
I mean, that's the thing. Brady's a 40-year-old legend, the greatest football player of all time. Yes, Bill Belichick's going to treat everyone in the room the same, but you can't treat a 40-year-old Brady, the GOAT, the same way as you treat a rookie on that team. You can't do that. You can't treat Damien. You can't do that. You can't do that. That's the one problem I have with Bill Belichick. At some point, you have to no one's gonna be mad that you start treating Tom differently. It's Tom Brady. No one's mad that they treat LeBron differently. It's LeBron James. They earned that right. At year 1 to 7, sure, be on Brady. But you get to year 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, he's still doing the same thing for you, bring you to 2 straight Super Bowls twice. Not winning 2 straight, but bring you to 2 straight twice in the last decade. Yeah, I mean,
I just liked in the same excerpt Robert Kraft's quote, and he was just saying, he brought up the fact that Belichick wasn't giving Brady the respect that he deserved. Yep. And again, that was in this quote here. And like you said, Brady told people close to him in 2017, I don't want to play for Bill anymore. And that was the quote from this excerpt. Again, ESPN Instagram, you can go check that out. And Seth Wickersham's new book, It's Better to Be Feared. So I just think it's a little odd that a dynasty like that, and we're learning that now, Brady was those past 3 years, prior to those 3 years, I didn't even want to be there for those last 3 years. That shows, again, how the relationship had deteriorated. And also, I like how Robert Kraft is saying, Bill, show your boys some respect.
How together, I mean, obviously they're a well-run organization, but how together is this front office connected with Bill Belichick? Because you saw, there was one quote that said that Robert Kraft said, I'm about to go meet the biggest fucking asshole I know or something. He was talking about Bill Belichick. He could have been joking, but there's times you say that jokingly to your boys and you really mean that shit.
Right.
But,
yeah,
and it's like, okay, well, now let's see how this organization does when Brady's not there.
Right.
How they can rebuild. We'll see how together they are. There's a lot of interesting storylines with this game, and James White's out too. It would have been. I feel like he just hurt, what was it, the hip
injuries.
Brady probably would have loved to see that guy because I heard Aaron Rodgers talking on Pat's show, and he was saying how I get to go see MVS and I get to see guys I used to play with. And you think like guys like that or not MVS, it was it was Geronimo Allison. You saw Geronimo Allison. If it was someone else, he was like, yeah, I can't wait to go see those guys. And it's like, damn, like even like guys who aren't like the all-stars on the team, you want to go see him. Obviously, the coordinators over there. Brady has a relationship with everyone in that building.
Right.
He knows them in and out. I think he goes in there and stomps their head in, honestly. And it's because there's so much on the line here. First of all, this could be the 32nd team he beats. He could break the passing yards record this game. And all the storylines going on. He didn't want to play for Bill for those last couple of years. Probably felt a little disrespected by him.
I'm just excited to see, like, at the end of the game when they shake hands, like, if it's like a
good
game.
I think after the game thing, like, because it's not like it's high school or whatever, college, you got to shake everyone's hand. It's like, I can go talk to that guy if I want to. If not, there's 105 players in this field.
Right, people are going to
be following.
He is going to all, like, shake everybody's hand and hug those guys that he had that dynasty with for many, many, many years.
Yep.
And when he's running out to the field and he's going to have all those pictures and talking to Mac Jones, you're the new dynasty.
Yep.
Maybe he even says to him, I see a lot of myself in you. You're going to run this team for the years to come. You're the new generation. And then all those cameras, you're going to see 200 cameras just around a circle of Brady and Bill saying whatever the hell they're saying after the game.
I think because
both of them cannot deny the fact, that they're seeing all of these discussions throughout the sports world this entire week.
I'm going to be honest. I think Bill makes a point to go shake his hand for the cameras after everything he said this week. Like when people come out with these headlines in the excerpts from the book and they ask him about it, he's like, oh no, I think he's the greatest player of all time. He can play till 50 if he wants to. All this shit now he's saying to fabricate it. I think he's going to try to make a point to go shake Brady's hand. I think Brady's going to try to give him the cold shoulder and give him one of these. Yeah, bro.
Yeah, see ya. But kind of like how do you see the clip of Herbert? And it was like I don't know what that was. Herbert, if you guys didn't see, Herbert was after the Chiefs game last week. It looked like he was avoiding Pat. Maybe he didn't hear him.
No, but remember what Pat said about Herbert going into the season. He said, yeah, I mean, he's a good player, but I got to see it to believe it. And Herbert didn't forget that shit.
And then he balled on their heads. So we are riding with the Bucs this weekend. I think it's just going to be a massacre.
It's going to be a massacre. I mean, first of all, and that whole Bucs building is full of vets, and it's a whole team from last year. They're so together. They love Brady. They have practices at Brady's house. Even if Brady doesn't want to snap, all those guys are going to have his back. Be ready to go for that game. So I think it's going to be a slaughter in Foxborough.
And we're expecting big things from that game. Can't wait to see that. Excited that it's another Sunday night primetime game for them, and as it should be, Brady's return to Foxborough. All right, so 2-hour Monday night game, the Raiders and the Chargers. Raiders getting their second Monday night game in 4 games. First was Week 1 against the Ravens, where they were able to get the W, and they're a 3-0 team, and now they're taking on Justin Herb, or as Patrick Mahomes called him when he was running to get his attention at the end of the game, Herbie. Big game coming up on Monday Night Football for the Las Vegas.
That's probably why he didn't shake his hand.
Raiders
Call me
and
Herbie.
The Chargers. Patrick. What do you got on this game, sir?
The Raiders, baby.
John Gruden.
The Raiders. Listen, the Raiders have shown us they can win a tough game on the road in primetime. They already did it versus Baltimore, like you highlighted. This team's legit. Derek Carr's a legit MVP candidate right now. I mean, they got Renfro, Ruggs, Edwards, Waller. That's who John Gruden says is the best player he's ever coached, which is wild to me.
That is wild.
He could be correct. This team is good, man. And I saw that when they beat the Ravens, I was like, okay, let's watch them. That game that they just won against Miami, bad teams and middle-of-the-road teams lose that game. You throw a pick six, you start down 14-0. Like, you don't win those games unless you're a good football team. Now, it's going to be tough to see them come off that emotional win, but I think the Chargers are coming off a more emotional win versus Chiefs. That's huge for them. That's the divisional game that they kind of stole on that kind of pseudo PI call. You could have called it a PI. I don't know. They are back at SoFi, and they did lose their first game at SoFi, so they probably will be looking at not probably. They will be looking to win this game very much so, but I don't know. I honestly think the Raiders are going to come out with this W. I think people are like,
Do you? You think the Raiders are going to win this game?
I think the Raiders come out with this W. I'm going to be honest, because something's telling me, yes, the Raiders are a better team. This spread is, I think it opened at 4.
It's 3 right now.
It's bet down to 3.
Chargers minus 3 right now.
So you know the money's coming in on the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
I think people are, I don't want to say overhyping, but they're going to overvalue the Chargers after that win. And this is a big letdown spot for the Chargers.
Well, let's see. So Raiders.
It's another divisional game, but I just think the Raiders take this. I think the Raiders are legit.
Raiders had their primetime game, their Monday night game, at home against the Ravens week 1, and now Chargers get their primetime game at home. I don't think Justin Herbert. I'm not calling him Herbie. I can't do it.
Yeah, Pat. What the hell?
But I don't think Justin Herbert's losing this game. It's very exciting to see a young quarterback developing like this, because you look at what he did last year, right? Came in, developed, and he was a stud, and we knew that. And then we talked about this on the reaction shows, but now you look at these rookie quarterbacks that now the headlines are coming out as Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson. You're not ready. You're not ready to be a starter. So, and you looked at Herbert last year, and that obviously was never a headline.
Never.
People might have said that when he came in to first start, and he proved them all wrong. I'm a Trevor Lawrence backer, so I thought that was, I thought he was going to be fine. Pick up right where he left off. It's a young quarterback. It's a different scheme in college. But I'm excited for this game. I have Austin Eckler on my fantasy team, so I'm excited to get some PPR catches out of the backfield. But we're gonna see. I think Peyton Barber had a huge game last week. We say over 100 yards and able to get into the end zone. Like you said, you mentioned Darren Waller, so it's going to be exciting to not only see Vegas in another primetime game, but they do deserve this game. They're 3-0, and in that division, Chiefs are 1-2.
Facts.
Mind you, they get the Eagles this week. That's at the Lynx. You never know what could happen. Home game, whatever. But That's a no. But it's going to be really exciting, and I'm a big Justin Herbert fan. I'm not a guy to get other jerseys of other players, just because I like getting guys from my own team. But if I were to get like another football team jersey and another, I'd get a Justin Herbert jersey. And their jerseys are sick as hell. That light blue and the yellow. But
Nah, I'm a fan of the Chargers. Like I love Herbert. It's hard not to love Herbert. Love Asante Samuel Jr. That kid's a baller over there. Baller. I just honestly think like.
How about Mikey Williams having a year too?
Yeah,
Big game last week.
Yeah, you're right. One thing about the Raiders is if you look at how was it last year? I forget what exactly it was, but they love playing well until the end of October. They'll play amazing September and October. They'll go 4-1, 5-1, 5-2, and then just fall off. So this is something that like they're one of those teams that they ride their momentum. Positive momentum, awesome. We're winning games. We lose one, lose another bad one, and then here comes that negative momentum.
Full circle moment, ready? That's just like the Red Sox.
Facts.
They're amazing throughout the year, and right down the stretch when they need to get themselves in a playoff spot, they blow it.
Facts. That's why I like the Raiders even more tonight, because not tonight, Monday Night Football, just because their team, when things are going great, it's great. We're in Vegas. They're probably going out to party. Gruden's walking around with a lip in practice, having a great time.
No,
it's relaxed. We're not even in full pads. We're in half pads all week. But I just think they're feeling good about themselves right now. I think this is a big win. They can prove another statement on the primetime stage. I think they get it done. At least cover. Take them 3.5. Don't take the 3. Take them 3.5. But I think they take this game. Man.
And the over-under, I do want to say this just for our bettors out there. The over-under is at 52.5. I am personally not an NFL over-under bettor. I do like college more. I'm probably going to say that a lot more throughout this season.
Is that a podcast player? Are we taking that over?
Is that a podcast play? Shit.
52? It's at 52 right now.
52.5.
52.5.
So you need what? Just over
like a 28, 24, 28 or
yeah,
31,
you need relatively, we'll just say hypothetically speaking, you need 4 touchdowns each.
Yeah. Okay.
And but again, it's more like 4 touchdowns and 3 and a field goal. But
a little 31-27, 31-28. I mean, this is the game for it. My personal opinion. I might take that over. I like that.
Yeah, so but that's it on the Raiders there. We will kind of discuss both of these games in our reaction show.
That team, I didn't even think about that game has a ton of single game parlay value. You could get busy with that. You can make like 4 different ones and they all could look good, honestly.
So we definitely will be taking a look at that. Keep that over under in our play for our weekend play for at the end of our Lotto show.
Absolutely. Quick plug, but you guys are going to be. I mean, you guys are going to see it after.
You guys are going to see it after the fact, but if you
do miss, we're going to be on the Thursday Night Lotto tonight with Jerry. If you do miss it and you're hearing about this the first time on this podcast, go to our Twitter. We'll have it retweeted. We're hopping on Thursday Night Lotto with Jerry, putting some plays together for this Thursday Night Football game. Even if you don't, obviously you're not going to be able to bet the game, but even more listening to hear what Jerry has to say about betting, I mean, he's a great betting mind. That guy's the GOAT. We're gonna have some input as well. You can learn some things, pick up some things for you to look at for next week. But that's what we're doing tonight. You'll see.
We're trying to make a on paper very boring game way less boring.
Facts.
Right.
Big facts.
So
that's what we do.
And as we head over to the Giants, if you don't want to lose like the Giants and you want to win like the Giants, head over to our landing page at dimers.com/ADED. Sign up to BetMGM. Bet $20 and win $100. Manny did that, and he got himself $50 in free bets. You can go do the same. Go win with us. We will be posting some plays as well as the year progresses. Hang out with us. Bet on BetMGM. A great book for you guys to get onto and come support the show. So as we head to our last segment of the day, it's going to be very short and sweet. I just have to address the biased comments from earlier and really kind of dive into my thought process as my optimism has faded.
Yep.
Okay. Let's just look at the Giants right now. I'm going to say this fast and just kind of give it to you. The Giants are 0-3 right now. And here's their next 7 games. This is what their next 2 months look like, okay? These are the next grueling 2 months of football for this team. This weekend, they are in New Orleans. After that, they go down to Arlington to AT&T Stadium to take on the Cowboys, who just threw up 41 on the Eagles.
Who's next?
After that, they are home against arguably the best team in football out of the Los Angeles Rams. Then they are home against Sam Darnold's Panthers. Yes. Have they?
If there was one.
I knew you were going to say it for that one. I knew you were going to say it for that one. And now have the Panthers played really good teams besides the Saints?
Like I said, McCaffrey.
Not really.
McCaffrey's down. J.C. Horn with the freakiest injury I've ever seen.
Dan Arnold's now over there,
Dan
though.
Arnold's gone. There could be some things going on. Dan Arnold's in Jacksonville. There's something. Something
But,
going on there.
Besides the point there, I mean, that, like you said, I'll give the benefit of the doubt there. Okay. Maybe not kill my whole mojo here. If there is a game to win there, it would be that one. So that is the first 4 in New Orleans, in Dallas, home against the Rams, home against the Panthers. Then, after this Panthers games, they fly to Kansas City, Arrowhead Stadium, on Monday Night Football, which there's been rumors that Eli and Peyton might be doing the true ESPN broadcast for that game.
That's fire.
I'm not positive on that. Don't quote me on that, but I've been kind of seeing some things on that. Probably won't happen because they want to keep ESPN team right and then them be on ESPN too. But that is Monday Night Football in Arrowhead against the Chiefs. Think about that, guys. I mean, that's just a loss waiting to happen, okay? And then we have you go back home and you play the Raiders. Okay, we won't know this because, again, that's like...
Now, that will be in 6 weeks when the Raiders typically start to fall off. So, hey.
You never know. But looking at this team now, it's hard to pick. It's hard to pick the Giants in that game, you know, even though they will be back home. And then they finish this 7-week stand, and they fly down to Tampa to take on Tom and the Bucs. Look, last year the defense had a great game on Monday Night Football. They were in MetLife for that game. I really do believe they should have won that game. It was a bad PI call that was not called. But
in the end zone, right?
Yep. And that would have
exactly what you're talking about.
Yep. So they did lose the game there, but you know, looking at the Bucs team this year and the Giants team this year, that's just an easy out waiting to happen, just like what I said about the Chiefs. And then after that, this is the 8-week stand.
It's not stopping.
You know, this one, it is stopping. I just want to mention this one just to make it.
No, I'm just saying for the poor Giants, it's just like, all right, we got to fly here, we play this fucking juggernaut.
Well, then they after Tampa, they come back home, and this, I don't want to end on 7 weeks. I want to make it the full 2 months. Then they end after that brutal and grueling 7-game stretch. They head home, and they take on the Eagles at home November 28th.
Still not. I mean, we're not great. I'm just saying that's still a great game. Like, that's still a tough game for them.
Yeah, I mean,
Very
it's a tough game for both sides, but it's a winnable game versus these other 7 where it's like, what the hell? So
but it's still
think about that, guys. 0-3 right now. That's 7 games right now. Are we really saying that in November, Thanksgiving weekend,
0-11,
we're going to say 0-10 before they play the Eagles? Really? What record is that? What stats can...
I think you guys will have one.
I need that stat.
I think you guys will have one.
I need that stat to say when the last time they were, if they ever, were 0-10 after the first 10 games of the season. Huh? So, yes, my optimism is gone. Gone. Am I still going to be a fan? Am I still going to watch these games? Am I still going to be hopeful for them to win games? 110%. But reality has to check in at some point, right? That's the thing that has to just come to the conclusion here is reality has to check in at some point. And we have a schedule like this. I remember looking at these games and I was like, all right, so they'll lose to, this was way before the beginning of the season started, and the schedules will come out. Okay, they'll lose to the Saints, and they'll get their win at Dallas. They'll split with Dallas there. I was assuming that the Rams weren't going to be so dominant, how they are now. So I'm like, maybe they scratch one there. Then I was like, Panthers, W. Chiefs, has to be an L. Raiders, W. And then I was like, Tampa, they played them good at home last year. This could be a fight. Maybe they squeak one. And now I'm like, no. This could be 1-6. At best, okay? We'll say at best, right? It's got to be 2-5. And where are the wins? Panthers and the Raiders. That's it. You're not interchanging game. You think they really get lucky and they go beat the Rams and the Rams defense? It is a home game, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And I was happy that you get a sold-out crowd for the first game of the season against Denver, and then they're gone, and they come back for the Falcons. You get a sold-out crowd because it's Eli. Tell me when you get to that Rams game at home, you're going in New Orleans and then in Dallas. Most likely 0-5. And then you come back for the Rams. Who the hell is going to buy that ticket? You tell me that. Who the hell is going to buy that ticket? Who's going to go to that game? 0-5, you go against the Rams. Directly after that, you have the Panthers. Maybe you'll have a turnout for the Panthers game. And then you come back with the Chiefs after that. Who's coming back to watch the Raiders game after the Chiefs game? Who? No one. No one. Where? I thought this could have been a year for them to, just with how the division has unfolded these past couple seasons, this could be a year to maybe squeak the division, get themselves into the wild card, especially with how it panned out last year. I know, this year's a new year, whatever. Last year's behind you, whatever. But they really had a chance. I mean, yeah, if the Eagles won that game, then they would be in there. But, and they would have, and I wanted to see that because I want to see what they would have done with that defense because their defense was really hot at the end of the season, what they would have done against Tom. They probably would have lost that game, but I wanted to see the chance. Brady against the Giants is never a good mix, and I wanted to just see what would have happened. That's all. But now, as I'm coming to this full conclusion here, I don't know if I have faith, and I don't know if I can put my faith into that. Again, it's early, but you look at the schedule. How can you not be worried? How can you not be concerned? How can you not already be looking to hand this division to the Dallas Cowboys?
I mean, you just think about who you're drafting next year when it comes into this whole thing. You guys could look at a guy like Kayvon Thibodeau that we already mentioned.
I need really a new offensive coordinator.
You do need a new offensive coordinator. I've already said my piece about Jason Garrett on this show. Now I will say this: Garrett, package wise, has been doing better. The first couple weeks, it was a lot of old school heavy this, heavy that. Now he's kind of spreading out a little more. It doesn't look good at all.
Notice, guys, I have not worn any Giants gear yet on this show.
Yeah, it's been bad for you, man. It's been bad for you, bro. It's been real bad for you, bro. I don't. What's the status on Kenny Galladay, Sterling Shepard, anything?
Blake. Well, I do want to say that we already talked about this. Blake Martinez. We talked about this on Tea Party, but Blake Martinez is done for the season, and that just hurts. I mean, led the team in tackles. Just all around great player for them.
I mean,
I didn't think of his
Peppers as good as you guys thought he was.
Yeah, I mean,
Bradbury's having a down year. I mean, not down year. He had a great year last year.
It's tough to meet those same.
It's just tough. You guys put together last year for the last 8 or 9 games. 8 games you guys put together real nice, and then
that spark was winning when Daniel Jones was out and winning in Seattle.
Yep.
When Colt McCoy had to be quarterback.
Yep.
That was the spark there. And I don't know. It's really sad. I don't know if the defense can do what they did last year to keep this team intact, keep this offense intact. It really comes down to, regardless if the defense is having, like you said, with Bradbury having that down year, and it's not so much a down year, they're just not meeting those same expectations that they had last year. I would say even if the defense is not meeting those same expectations that they had last year, the offense still has to come out and try to put some points on the board.
Yeah, we can't score 14 points versus the fucking Falcons.
You can't have your two scoring drives be 2 field goals against the Falcons. So, I mean, you're not going to do that against the Chiefs defense. Certainly not going to do that against the Bucs defense. Certainly not going to do that against this year's Dallas defense. Certainly, the last one I'll say, is certainly not going to do that against the Rams defense. So, I just want to say my piece on that and just get you all out there to realize that, yes, I'm not a dummy. I know what's happening. I know what the next 2 months look like. And I know I have my predictions, and I know what's going to happen.
Can we just get a new offensive coordinator that's going to run some type of spread?
That's what I want, dude.
Can we put some real big draft capital on this O-line? Maybe some trade capital on this O-line.
Why did he come
Open
back?
up some holes for Saquon. Let Daniel Jones be protected. When he's been protected and he can do his thing, he's looked good.
I hate seeing I see these TikToks where it's like wasted talents or wasted NFL players.
There's like 8 of them on the Giants.
Part 3.
There's like 8 of them on the Giants.
Saquon Barkley. And I'm like, yes, everyone's been saying that, okay? That's been the past couple years with it. He's going to be running to the ground. He's going to get hurt. It's a waste of his career. It's a waste of his talent. You got to just open up a hole for him. I need space. There's no way Jason Garrett should be back this year. What was the front office? Why? What? You saw what he did with Dallas. He wasn't even calling the fucking plays. He wasn't calling the plays that the team was that shitty. So what was he there for? Why is he still here? I need a new offensive coordinator.
Bad.
I'm done.
Bad.
I'm done. That's the show. I'm done talking about the Giants.
Odell was. I remember when Odell left the Giants. I was kind of like, I feel like other people.
Don't fucking say Miami. Don't say it was the boat.
No. I'm just gonna say. What I'm saying is, when Odell left, I think people were like, "Why is he doing this? Or this isn't good for his career. He should stay with the Giants. They have a stable organization. And him and Saquon can be something serious for these years." He's looking like he made the best decision of his life. I couldn't imagine if Odell was still here right now. I mean, Daniel Jones would probably look a little better. He would still be doing what Odell does. But, I mean, you got to free it. I mean, it's free Daniel Jones. It's free Saquon. It might be free Sterling Shepard. Might be free Blake Martinez. I mean, might be free James Bradbury, free Jabril Peppers. Free the whole team. Free every competent football player on that team. Just tell them to go ahead. And just enjoy your career somewhere where it's going to be enjoyable.
Not because they just need to keep building around these guys. I mean, like they have, on paper, they have these guys that can be really, really well-rounded playmakers. They just need a couple, like I said with Penn State, just continue to find the dots that you have to connect
them. Okay.
Put the puzzle pieces together and finish the puzzle. It's. I'm not saying it's so close, but they have the pieces where it's like we need a couple adjustments here and there, and we're there. And and I'm saying we're there because you look at this division. It's not like they're in a very, very tough division.
I mean,
you have.
It's one team.
It's 1 to 2 teams, and you sprinkle in the Eagles, and then if the Giants didn't have this,
that's generous of you, bro. Because Nick Sirianni and the boys.
I think you go like Salt Bay with the Eagles, and then you do like a grain for the Giants. You know what I'm saying? Like a grain of salt
over the football team.
No. Like so you have one team, and then you have like kind of the Washington team, and then you have like you do a Salt Bay action with the Eagles, and then you do like a grain or two with the Giants. Yep. And that's how the division's
Eagles and the Giants will 2024. They'll be back. Division probably flip, but
where the hell will we be then? Oh, that's the show, fellas. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening today. A lot of stuff that we just banged out. I have my paper here that I'm just done with. So if you want to check us out on the Twitter page, notifications of everything that we got going on for these next couple months, planning everything, getting our paycheck, able to buy some things here and there. Check us out on the Twitter page at ADED Podcast. If you want to see some reels on the Instagram, we got to get some more pictures of us. We got some cool thumbnails coming out for the new videos that we're doing, so we'll be posting those on there so you can see our faces, other than if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, and give us the 5-star rating as well.
Thank you.
But if you are only listening on Apple Podcasts and you're not seeing us on the YouTube, the All Day Everyday Show, then you can just go over the Instagram and see what we look like, see what we're doing, see what we look like in action, see the pictures of us, all right? Head over to our TikTok as well, getting to our road to 1,000 followers. I want to go live for you. I want to see, just us talking. You never know what can happen on TikTok if you are. I was saying like if you're scrolling through and people don't know who we are, and I'm just talking, and they see, maybe I say that I'm in podcasting and that this is what we're doing, and they start asking some questions. How did you get into this? It's cool to have those conversations with just random people on TikTok that have never heard of us or seen us before, and that can help us get more of our following and get more exposure out there. So head over to the TikTok, which is simply the All Day Everyday Show. And if you want to see us live, speaking of the live, the Twitch, we are back streaming on Twitch. Took a little brief hiatus, had some Twitch complications. I was also away for a little bit, but we're back. We streamed last night on Wednesday, and we will be back doing that soon for you guys. Grinding out the Apex, grinding out the Fortnite. Trying to just
win some goddamn money.
Win some money. We had some money bets last night. We had some money bets last night.
We cashed the Dodgers plus 1,000 live. The Dodgers plus 950 live. The Dodgers plus 150 live. We had a 3-team parlay with the Dodgers, Mariners, and Giants and plus 156 cash. We had the over 12 cash. The over 14 and a half cash. Over 15 cash.
So if you guys want to head over to the Twitch, watch us live. Chat with us, talk to us in live.
From the Twitch.
We will be able to chat with you guys, interact with you guys, and you can win some money with us. Okay? Okay. Lock that in. Facebook page, I haven't shouted this out in a while, but that's just simply the All Day Everyday Show. We love what we're doing, man. And like I said, we have a lot planned for you, and we will have some more news for you on what our plans are for this giveaway in October. We want to give back to you guys again, and we're able to have some money now from Dimers to do so. So very, very exciting for us, and hopefully very, very exciting for you. Keep rocking with us. Keep riding with us. The show will always move forward. Thanks, guys. We really appreciate you. Another video in the books. It's the All Day Everyday Show with All Day AJ and the homie Manny Ruffin. My name is Alex Jacobs. Sorry, but you can call me All Day AJ. Peace out, boys. We love you. More paper.
I was trying to hit the camera bullseye.
Peace, boys.
Sidearm. I couldn't do it.